Welcome back to Interesting History. Today, we're traveling back to the earliest days of ancient Rome, a time when the city was ruled by kings. This period, known as the Roman Kingdom, lasted from 753 to 509 BCE. It's a fascinating era often overshadowed by the later glory of the Republic and Empire, but this early phase set the stage for everything that followed. Let's start at the very beginning. The story goes that Rome was founded by Romulus in 753 BCE. Romulus was one of the twin sons of the war god Mars and Rhea Silvia, a priestess. Legend says he and his brother Remus were abandoned as infants but were miraculously saved by a she-wolf who nurtured them until they were discovered by a shepherd. The myth of Romulus and Remus isn't just a story. It's a symbol of Rome's fierce independence and survival against the odds. When Romulus founded Rome, he chose a strategic location on the Tiber River in central Italy, giving the city easy access to trade routes and a natural defense against enemies. Imagine this. In the early days, Rome wasn't a bustling metropolis but a small, fortified village surrounded by dense forests, swamps, and neighboring tribes. Early Romans lived in simple huts made of wood, mud, and straw, huddled close for protection. The center of this early city-state was on the Palatine Hill, one of the famous 7 hills of Rome. From there, you could see the Tiber River flowing below and fields stretching into the distance. This landscape, rugged and wild, shaped the way Romans lived and fought. But life here wasn't easy. Rome was surrounded by powerful neighbors like the Etruscans to the north and various Latin tribes. To survive and expand, Rome's kings knew they needed to build alliances. They struck deals and formed pacts with nearby tribes, mixing diplomacy with force. In fact, these early alliances would go on to play a major role in helping Rome expand its territory over time. Rome's early society was very different from what it would become. It was shaped by tribal and clan systems, and family loyalties were everything. Each Roman belonged to a gens or clan, which had its own head and customs. Clans were close-knit, almost like small kingdoms within the city. They even worshipped their own gods and had family traditions that were passed down through generations. Visualize this. Each family's hut or home surrounded a central courtyard where they would honor their ancestors and gods with small rituals and offerings. The unity within these clans created a deep sense of loyalty, which would later influence Rome's military and political organization. But these early Romans were also fierce warriors. Kings like Numa Pompilius and Tullus Hostilius focused on building a strong military culture. Life was hard, and there were frequent skirmishes and small-scale battles with neighboring tribes. The Romans began to excel in warfare, developing tactics and military formations that would later evolve into the disciplined Roman legions. Each king of Rome brought something unique to the city. The second king, Numa Pompilius, was known as the wise lawgiver. He introduced important religious and cultural practices, establishing temples, festivals, and the first priests. Numa helped turn Rome from a rough settlement into a more structured and unified community. Then came Tullus Hostilius, the third king, who emphasized Rome's military might. Under his rule, Rome became more aggressive, often going to war with nearby towns to prove its strength. Hostilius is credited with doubling Rome's size through conquest and reinforcing its warrior culture. The next significant ruler, Ancus Marcius, brought the city to another level. He not only expanded Rome's territory further, but also developed trade routes and built Rome's first bridge over the Tiber River, the Pons Sublicius. This allowed the city to better control trade and strengthened its economy. But not all kings were beneficial. Rome's final king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, or Tarquin the Proud, was known for his tyrannical rule. Unlike the other kings, he didn't come from a Roman background, but rather from Etruscan royalty. He took power by force and ruled with a heavy hand, even ordering the construction of the Cloaca Maxima, Rome's first sewer system, to showcase his power. But his cruelty and disregard for the Senate and the people created a deep resentment. In 509 BCE, after years of suffering under Tarquin's oppressive rule, the people of Rome rose up. they ousted him in a dramatic revolt, bringing an end to the Roman monarchy. It was a decisive moment in history, the birth of the Roman Republic. The transition wasn't just about overthrowing a king. It was about changing the way power was held. From that point on, Rome was governed by elected officials, leading to the famous Senate and the rise of the Roman Republic. So that's the story of Rome's earliest days as a kingdom. From a small city-state of humble huts on the Tiber, ruled by warrior kings and family clans, Rome was already laying the groundwork for greatness. With the end of the kingdom, Rome stepped into a new era, one that would see the city rise to dominate the Mediterranean. If you enjoyed this journey into ancient Rome, make sure to like and subscribe for more episodes right here on Interesting History. There's so much more to explore, and we're only just beginning.